Okay, my name is TONYGIGGS Oyeyiola, an indigenous of Kwara State. I'm a human resource professional. I graduated from the University of Jos, where I did my first degree in political science with international economic relations as a major. I did my second degree at Obafemi Awolowo University, where I obtained my MBA with specialization in human resource management. I'm a human resource professional with over 10 years experience, and I work with British Council Nigeria here in Lagos. Inspiration for the book can be traced to about, say, 12 years ago, or thereabout, when I was preparing for my youth service. I was really inspired to write about the contribution of National Youth Service Corps to national integration and the role of the youth in the society. I co-wrote the book with a friend, or same manuscript, so to speak. Unfortunately, it couldn't see the light of the day for one reason or another. And ever since, the desire to write on youth has been, at the fore, of my thinking. And it was just the right time for me to come out after taking a very deep study about youth, the youth that are making impact in Nigeria, and also the youth that are, so to speak, not really engaging, their time to do something meaningful, to their lives and also to the nation. And I felt that with the growing number of youths and considering that, only a very few are really making impact, both at a large scale level or at a small scale level. So the desire is really something that, inspired me, to come out with this particular book. I feel it is timely. I think it is the right time for, you to continue to make more impact. I think it is also the right time for the youth to take cue from those who have braved all the odds, to contribute, to national development and also to their self. So basically, I was actually inspired to write this book because of the fact that I think, there is serious need, for it out there. And I think, and I'm very hopeful, it's going to really, send the right kind of message that people will really imbibe. Basically, number one strategy is the fact that the book is not voluminous, so that people will find it very easy to read. It's not going to take so much of their time, but I believe strongly that, the number of hours committed to reading it will go a long way. If, they're able to concentrate on it, it will go a long way, to sending the message across. So anybody that picks it under 3 hours or thereabout can actually finish the book. Then secondly, the plan is to ensure that as many people as possible, especially the youths, get to read the book. We are actually working across the country to ensure, quite a number of bookshops, have this in stock, for us, and they're able to use their own network to pass the book across. Also, we are trying to see how we can partner with the NYSC, so that we can actually catch some people young, whereby, okay, even at a very reduced price, we'll be able to make it available to core members, especially with Lagos, where we are going to start, where we're going to pilot it. Secondly, we are also looking at other platforms, online, like Konga, Jumia, and others that are not as popular as those two. We're also taking advantage of international platforms like the Amazon to actually, be able to connect with friends, fans, in the diaspora. This book is going to be available for everybody. And like I said, We are trying to take advantage as many as possible, bookshops in Nigeria, so that this will go a long way to the best of our art. Okay, the book is available at Terraculture VI, Lagos. It's also available at Jed Mega Store at the Palms, Lekki. It's available at the Spectrum Hub at Ikeja or Shopping Plaza. It's also available at Pataba Books at Adeniran Ogunsanya Shopping Mall. It's available with Patterns NG stores, here in Lagos. It's available on Amazon.com for those who are in America or environs like Canada, USA, what have you. We have it on Amazon.co.uk for people in Europe and other parts of the world. Very soon it's coming up on Konga and on Jumia. We are also trying to open it up to other bookshops in Lagos first, then going to Abuja, where we'll be doing the unveiling on May 29th for the Abuja. And we'll also be looking at a couple of bookshops in Abuja before we spread it to other parts of the country. So basically for now, those are the platforms where we have this book. But in the next couple of weeks, it's going to spread and, geometrically. Basically, because I am someone that have passion for writing, so writing is definitely something that I will continually engage in. Therefore, there are quite a number of stuff that will be coming out. But most importantly, the need to push this particular work is very, very important. Push, this particular work is very, very important at this moment. It's a particular discourse that I'm looking at putting into writing, but I'm not expecting it anytime soon. It's going to take a bit of time because of the amount of work that is going to go into it. I may not write the book, on my own alone. I may be co-authoring the book with another senior colleague, but this particular body of work will be kind of HR related, topic or discourse. But basically, all attention is on this particular work at the moment, Letter to Our Youths, Not Too Young to Make Impact. But eventually, and very, very likely, in the next couple of years, another book will be coming up. But for now, we are sticking to Letter to Our Youths, Not Too Young to Make Impact. I have quite a number of people to really say shout out to for bringing this book to light. The names are just too numerous, too numerous, but a couple of them really comes to mind. I want to thank those who contribute to the content. One of them is my able senior in secondary school, who is a very, very good person to me, Mr. Tajuddin Ahmed. I want to thank Professor Adeyemi Ajayi, who is a senior colleague in the profession, for his contribution to us. I also want to thank quite a number of colleagues, at work. One of them is my partner, Anne Ayinde. The same thing goes for Gabriel Akpabio. I also want to thank Professor Pat, who told me, who wrote the foreword of the book, despite his very crazy schedule, and I have to chase him around. And I actually wrote the foreword based on the merit of the book. I've not really had any relationship with him prior to that. I want to thank those other people that contributed to the reviews. Honorable Bolaji Abdullahi, former Minister of Youth and Sport Development, who is also an author. I want to thank JJ Omojua. I want to thank Tope Ogunsemo. Those are the people that actually reviewed the book and wrote comment despite their busy schedules. I also want to thank Toyosi Ogunsuyi, Akirele Ogunsiji. I want to thank profoundly Mrs. Kate Enshaw for her contribution to this body of work. Okay, before I forget, let me also add Philip Braids, who happens to be a senior colleague and a former boss, contributed to this body of work. I also want to thank Mrs. Joan. Mrs. Joan is also a senior colleague in the HR space. Quite a number of people. I want to thank Mohammed Ahmed, who is a director with the British Council, for the contribution to this body of work. I also want to thank Ojoma Ochai, for her contribution. I am really very grateful. I want to thank my friend Egu David, who also contributed to the work, who reviewed. I want to thank very profoundly my friend Nicholas, Oche, barrister, for his painstaking work on the book. I also want to thank, those people that helped in the production, the final production that made it, that contributed to his success. First and foremost, I would like to thank Latif Yusuf, a brother and a friend who, did tremendously well, towards the realization of this project. He was there for me. He contributed immensely towards this. I also want to thank Akintunde Olumide, a friend and a brother and a colleague. There are quite a number of people, too numerous to mention, but in the bit of all this, I would like to mention my wife in particular, Emma Oyeyiola, who also contributed, who reviewed the book, critique, offer suggestions in so many ways. There are quite a lot of people, that contributed to the book, which I may not be able to, remember as we speak. But nevertheless, if I'm unable to, I still want to say a big thank you to them, because without them, this book wouldn't have seen the light, of the day. I want to thank my publisher, my printer, Olumide Falade of Bleeding Corporation, for the yeoman's job he did on this book. This is the second one we are doing together, and we nail it. It's like an international standard, and people have actually attested to the quality and the attention to details on the book. I want to also thank Mayowa Ogunsemo, a friend in the UK, who also came all the way to support from the UK, contributed to this project. To Peter Osazua for his contribution. I want to thank my friend Chidi Oama for his massive contribution to the body of this work. I also want to thank my other colleagues who were able to offer one support to another, during the course of this project. A very big thank you to Chief Dele Momodu for finding time to write comment on this particular book out of his very busy schedule. I really appreciate his his belief, in the youth of this country. Say a big thank you to Ojoma Ochai for her support, in producing this work. I would like to thank my boss at work too, Chinenye Ugelu, for her massive support during the course of this particular project. A big thank you to Barrister Isa Alade for the support. A big thank you to Johnson Oyewo. A big thank you, to Chuks, Kereke. A big thank you to Emmanuel Upai, for the unflinching support. I want to say thank you to my brother, Emmanuel Solomon Arome in Kano. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming down, for the program, to render your support all the way from Kano. Thank my friend, my sister, Buki Olawepo Abiodun Eson, for our unflinching support all over over these years. Thank you, to Ibukungbadamosi. Thank you to my boss at work, Chinayen Ogelu, for our massive support. To friends and colleagues at work, too numerous to mention, Donya Palara, Yinka Abiba, Elisha Oyeyiola, Ronke, quite a number of people who really supported me in one way or the other towards the success of this particular project. I would like to say a big thank you to Abubakar Umar in Malaysia for his unflinching support and belief, towards this project. Same goes to Ojoma Ochai, head of Arts West Africa British Council, for our unflinching support, towards the realization of this particular project. I would like to say a massive support to my siblings too for their, massive support towards this project. I say a big thank you to Ibrahim Farouk of Yaga in Abuja, who offered review, criticism, comments, and also offered materials towards the realization of this particular project. I have quite a number of people I may not be able to mention, but if you are watching, if you are listening, I want to say thank you to you, because I know you have supported me in one way or the other. You are going to also get the book, Letter to Our Youths, Not Too Young to Make Impact.